Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video we would be discussing Youth Academy, Youth Staff, as well as the transferring of youth and the youth squad as well. So without further ado, let's get to it. So as you can see, I am in the transfer tab on the career manager career mode, sorry, on FC24. So what you want to do is just simply press R1 to go to the transfer area. This is where you'll find the scout report, scouts, search player, so you can search for any player, either that you want to shortlist, or if you want to scout further, you would go to this search players and then search for a specific player that you have in mind. The transfer hub, which is where you would find the shortlist, the sent offers, the receiving offers, as well as other information. So this is a really good tab to go to if you are interested in signing on a player, releasing a player, etc., etc. And this is the youth staff tab, where you would find the youth staff. They will simply go to any country of your choice. Well, any country of your choice that has like you know youth leagues and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think there are any in the Middle East. I've yet to find a Middle East tab for the Youth Academy or the Youth Squad. However, there are, Asia. There's like two separate types of Europe within the scouting. Here we go. Let me show you real quick what I'm talking about. So I actually set up a scouting network in South Korea for 6 months. So that's in the Asia category. I don't want to do that. But if you set up a scouting network here, like so, you can either go to North America, South America, Africa, Southern Europe, Northern Europe, Central Europe, and rest of Europe. I just like how they say, rest of Europe, in those like specific categories of Europe and stuff like that. So it's more specific where you want to set up a scouting network. So I think that's really cool and pretty detail oriented options that they give you. So there's that, as well as Asia, and then Australia. I guess there's no youth scouting available in New Zealand, or as you could see, there's none in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia is actually considered Asia, I guess. I didn't know that, but the more you know, right? So these are the countries you are able to set up a scouting network in for the youth. And you can also go there for the senior squad as well, and we'll talk about senior squad transfers in a bit. So that's how you get to the youth staff tab. Those are the countries you can go to. If you want to go to your youth academy in particular, you go to the squad tab, and then you go scroll through to the youth academy, and this is where your youth students and the players that you're developing to be on the senior squad, this is where their information will be, their development, how they're going. You will also get actually development updates every month, so as well as the youth staff. If they're setting up a scouting network in a certain country, then every month they will send you a list of all the players that they've scouted, how they are, and stuff like that, as well as their overalls and other information that you could choose then if you choose to sign a youth player into your youth academy, or you could reject a player. Whichever that you choose. But if you go back and if you don't do anything, if you don't sign a player, and if you don't reject a player, then that scout will simply scout them further and then give you further information about them in the next month. So there'll be more information on a particular player. So that's kind of how that works. So if you go to the Youth Academy, you can see the development firsthand. So the overalls, they will tell you like their projected overalls, their strength, kind of what their potential may be. So that's what you see, the POT. That means their potential overall. So if you continue to develop that player's skills and their develop their skills, develop them as players, and mental development too and stuff like that, then they have the potential of reaching these higher overalls. But there are some specific cases where a youth player doesn't really do well with the plans that you have for them. So you can also release a youth player as well, as you could see by that option. If you don't find their development is really working for you, then you can release them, or if they're doing extremely well, you may promote them to the senior squad, and then have them included in games and stuff. You're also able to change your development plans, which can be kind of changing their position or just changing the plan that you have within a certain position. And this is what I mean. So if you go to growth, you can change these statistics. You can do balanced where they kind of grow in every category, or they could specialize in a specific category. If you want a youth player to be developed in a certain area. So let's say this guy's a striker, right? That's his position. So his position is primarily striker. If you wanted to switch his position to a more central or defensive player, like a CDM, for example, or CAM, then you would kind of switch his development plans, the growth plans, as well as positions. So you could choose kind of to shift their positions and the growth. However, if you could see on the top here, next below and to the right of the position title, so to speak, you could see how long it would take them to develop those skills. So it would take probably the shortest amount of time for him to switch his position to attacking midfielder, but it would take longer to do, let's say, right wing back. So it would take longer for him to develop those skills. Or even like a center back. As you can see, that's going to take him 107 weeks to develop these skills, to truly become a center back, which is the utmost defensive position. So he'll be going from a striker to a center back, which is like the complete opposite, at least in my opinion. Like complete opposite. That's probably why it will take so long for him to develop those skills and stuff like that. So you can choose, which role you would like them to play. As you could see by the text, let me go back. As you can see by the text, development plans have the fastest growth when a player is in very good form. So this player is in excellent form, so that means that he would do really, really well with really any of these positions or any of these growth plans that you could choose to have for them. But I really want this player in particular to focus on striking predominantly, being on the front lines. That's just the kind of position that I would like this player to have, and this is the position that he was scouted for. So also when you scout youth, you're able to scout the type of youth, not only position wise, but you could scout their mentality as well. So there's like a aggressiveness type that you could scout for, playmakers. You can also scout for kind of defensive minded players. Or players that are more reserved. So you have a lot of flexibility and a lot of different options that you can do when it comes to the youth academy in particular. You can also scout those sort of things with regular players as well. So if you go to the not the transfer hub, but if you go to the scouts, let me show you what I mean really fast. Scout instructions. So this is where you'll find the play styles that you could go for, and the conditions as well. So let me see, edit instructions. So you can filter out the positions and the roles that you want to scout for. So you have a lot of freedom when it comes to selecting players that you want for your squad. So you can do that either for the senior squad or the youth academy squad, whichever one you'd like. And that basically concludes everything for this video. I hope you found it educational, and if you have any additional questions, or any concerns that you have with the game, like even like complaints and stuff like that, then I'd like to know about it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Peace.